Hello, I'm Kiri Bloor and this is our Lotus coverage here at Spa. We are now officially halfway through the season and all championships seem to be heating up nicely. Now for the first time this season, the Lotus Cup UK and the Lotus On Track Elise Trophy have travelled to Europe to join forces with the Lotus Cup Europe for one race meeting. But it's not just the UK who have travelled further afield. We're also joined by 4 drivers from the Lotus Cup Eastern Europe and one very special lady from the Lotus Cup Ladies Series. The FIA Lotus Ladies Cup is part of the Hungarian Touring Car Championship Series. Now in 2014, it is back for its 4th year. Adrienne is one of the front runners in the series and we're going to now catch up with her to find out more.
Our series has launched at 2011 from Hungary, and since then we improved a lot. I think we have many competitors from all over the world, for example from Puerto Rico, from the Netherlands, Switzerland, Slovakia, Germany, so we have very colorful.
And it's an ever-growing series, but obviously here today a much bigger grid than you're used to. So what was it like being out in such a big crowd?
Yeah, it was very crowded at the beginning in the start procedure, but it was very good because in our series normally we have 10 or 12 competitors, so it was different racing against 30 people, but it was very yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Fantastic, and obviously it's a very busy weekend for you. You've got the Lotus Cup Europe, which is 2 races, but you're also joining the Lotus Cup UK for the 60-minute race as well, aren't you?
Yeah, our race is also 30 minutes and one lap, so the race is the same. Yeah.
Fantastic. And also, just about your experience here at Spa, it's obviously a very fast circuit. What was it like driving out there?
Yeah, I have never been here before, so this Spa Francorchamps, it was one of my aim to race here. So now I'm very glad and very thankful for everybody here, because I get an invitation from Lotus to participate here on this race weekend. So I try to do my best.
With the championship now in full swing in the Lotus Cup Europe, it looks like things could be set to change this weekend. Jonathan Walker has been heading up the pack, but after a disappointing qualifying and tyre problems, he starts in P5 ahead of the first race in Lotus Cup Europe. And Xavier George, who is currently in 2nd position in the championship, also had a less than prosperous qualifying and starts at this first race of Lotus Cup Europe in P9.
Well, after entertaining first race of the weekend, it was Jack Goff who prevailed. He took the win from Nicolas Gibson. 17 seconds almost was his margin. Philippe Loup completed the podium ahead of Jeremy Lorenko and Nicholas Walker, with Jean-Pierre Genu-Prache completing the top 10. Jean-Baptiste Tout then in 11th from Dennis van den Sarvel, and Glenn Sherwood, a very fine 13th for Glenn. Anthony Fournier somewhere down in 17th, but it was a disastrous race for John Walker. He was classified in 27th place. So unusual not to see John on the podium. He'll be hoping for far better in race 2. Huge field of cars, and the finishes were completed by Janos Santa in 33rd place.
Now, Jack, moonlighting in the Lotus Cup Europe for one race, and you seem to have stolen the show.
Yeah, I didn't really expect that, to be honest. I was originally down to race Phil Capsick's Exige in the Cup Europe races, and then I think he got a little bit selfish and said he wanted to race it himself, you know. But Simon kindly stepped up and said, "Oh, use my car." So it's the first time I've raced that car. And, you know, so thank you to the Datum guys, AC Entertainment, Advanced Lighting, for even getting me out there and letting me have a go in his car.
Fantastic circuit as well, nice and fast.
Yeah, it's brilliant. You know, I love this place. I've been in now for 3 years in a row, and it's one of the best sort of events of the whole year. It's absolutely fantastic, and it never gets boring. You know, some tracks get boring, this just doesn't.
And Nikolai, it's a good battle between you two.
It was a very good battle between us two. Somebody hit me at bus stop, so I had to spin, and then Philippe, he passed me, and it took me a very long time before I could actually catch him and then pass him. So, and then it was fine from there.
Fantastic race. You were certainly kept busy.
Yeah, very busy. So it's very hot too, I tell you.
Yeah, I know everybody's coming back and saying that. Now on to race 2 as well. So what's the plans for race 2?
Well, pretty much the same, I think. See what happens, and I'm off pole position. Haven't tried that before, so let's see if I can have one good start. I haven't had any yet.
The Lotus Cup Europe take to the track for the second time this weekend. Jack Goff certainly made an impression yesterday when he took home the victory. Now Jonathan Walker, our championship leader, is right down at the back there. Yesterday having a disappointing drive because of tyre trouble. So let's see if he can make up those championship points today. And Gregory Rass as well, also struggling with tyre problems. So this racer certainly looks set to shift the championship around.
And what a gigantic grid as well. This promises to be thoroughly entertaining. The quintessential Spa shot then, the heat haze shimmering off the cars along the Kemmel Straight as the huge field take this last opportunity to get acquainted with the challenging home of the Belgian Grand Prix. So Nicolas Gibson it is who takes pole position from Gregory Rass. It's Jack Goff and Rob Fenn on row 2 from John Walker and Philippe Luc. Nicolas Ferrer in 7th had Nicolas Walker, then Xavier Georges, Jeremy Lorenko. David Harvey well up in 15th place in his open class car, just clear of Jean-Pierre Jeunet-Prache, who's won race in the Lotus Cup Europe before, Jean-Baptiste Loup. Great to see Benedict Major, the first of the Lotus Cup Eastern Europe competitors there in 22nd place. Thomas Veitzin likewise showing strongly in 24th. Very healthy entry from the production class as well. Derek Van Tove completing the 41 car field. Once more testimony to the success of the Lotus Cup Europe. So the red lights come on, all eyes to the gantry. As the lights flash to green, away we go. Nicolas Gibson looking to convert pole position into the early advantage as they sprint towards La Source for the first time. Simpson who's got the advantage from John Walker, and then it's Gregory Rass next through as they turn through the tight hairpin at La Source, cleanly around and then plummeting downhill on the way to Eau Rouge. This the iconic corners of the Spa Francorchamps circuit. Already John Walker looking to apply the pressure to early leader Nicolas Gibson as Jack Goff and Rob Fenn go side by side. The two British drivers showing very strongly in the early stages as the field swooped through. No instance thus far. Plenty of good battles already forming up in the production class. The same goes though for the very head of the field as John Walker in the white V6 Cup R looks to challenge Nicolas Gibson as they arrive into Les Combes for the first time. Meanwhile, looking to pick his way up the order there is Philippe Luc as he tries to challenge around the outside of Nicolas Walker. Some quick drivers, relatively low down the order. This should be an enthralling race as it unfolds. So downhill, out of the left-hander with no name, into the double left-hander sequence of Pouan. Ready, John Walker again applying the pressure to Ibsen. Then we've got Gregory Rass looking to join in with Jack Goff up into 4th place in the 211 as Walker looks to the inside of Ibsen as the pair of them go side by side into Les Fagnes. Almost contact between the pair of them. Ibsen though keeps his nose in front just. And he now needs to set about getting a good run out of Stavelot and on towards the very, very quick run to Blanchimont. This is one of the fastest sections of the circuit. Jack Goff settles into the slipstream behind Gregory Rass as well. Into the bus stop chicane then. Ibsen looking to defend here from John Walker. Nicolas Gibson puts the car squarely in the middle of the road as Gregory Rass swoops around the outside John Walker and snatches 2nd place. Jack Goff follows through into 3rd place as well, and Rob Fenn in 5th, also lurking with intent, looking if he possibly can to try and gain the place. While though Nicolas Gibson trying to control the race in these early stages as Gregory Rass Evora looks to the outside, setting parts to the inside. The same goes for the black 211 of Jack Goff. So John Walker runs out wide, that allows through Rob Fenn as well. As the field sprint downhill once more. Thrilling scrap for the lead this. Now can Gregory Rass get the run through Eau Rouge, Radion and onto the Kemmel Straight. Look to challenge race leader Nicolas Gibson. That's really what he's going to be looking to do. So quickly turned out field, swoop through, begin the steep uphill climb, planting their right foot down the Kemmel Straight. And again, Nicolas Gibson knows that Rass is coming. He covers the inside line. Evora draws alongside to the outside. A pair of them do battle on the brakes into Les Combes, and it is just Nicolas Gibson then who maintains the lead of the race, but you can see how he's backing up all the cars behind him. As we have a look a little bit lower down the order. contact there. That's Esteban Haviland who makes contact with Kees Verlois. It's Kees Verlois who loses out. It's Kees with some work to do from the rear of the field. Jack Goff, meanwhile, applying the pressure from third place, giving the hurry up here to Gregory Rass. And it means that Rass, you can see, is looking increasingly impatient in his efforts to overhaul Nicolas Gibson, and he darts to the inside into Fania. No way through. It gives Jack Goff then the opportunity to challenge as well. Rob Fenn in fourth, just holding that watching brief as they pick up the pace out of Stavolo. And they've got the increasing radius left-handers for Blanchimont ahead of them. While David Harvey heading Cure Cars. There's Nathalie Genou-Prache as she looks to make progress up through the order. This is the beauty of the Lotus Cup Europe, is wherever you look there are some fantastic fights, and not least those at the very head of the field that lead the race. So once more, as Gregory Rass looks to challenge Gibson, it gives Jack Goff the opening. Meanwhile, Jonathan Walker is busy defending from Nicolas Ferrer, as running out very wide is Gregory Rass. It's allowed Jack Goff to seal the deal for second. It could also allow Rob Fenn to sneak through here for third. Breaks into La Source. Around the hairpin we go. So Gregory Rass does slip to third. He will aim to try and overhaul Jack Goff, certainly along the Kemmel Straight. So leading the way, second race of the weekend, it's Nicolas Gibson. Fantastic fight going on behind. Nicolas Gibson leads the way in the metallic silver car. He's just clear of a hard charging Gregory Rass. And we've got Jack Goff, Rob Fenn tucked in just behind. So the Exige V6 Cup R leads the Evora, leads the 211 and leads the Exige. Meanwhile, here is our leader in the production class. Car number 1, Thomas Dehaye, being chased by that bright yellow car 44. Andrew Wright, Dave Carr, also looking to join in that battle. So swooping down through Pouant. Leading group of cars, still as close as they ever have been. So along the Kemmel Straight, you can see the production battle is beginning to close up. So Andrea Bender makes a pass on Andrew Wright. Right, though, really wants to get onto terms with that black car, number 1, Thomas Dehaye. It's accelerating out of Stavolo, and once more Jack Goff looking to line up the move on Gregory Rass. The pair of them turn into left-hander Blanchimont. Then it's on towards the bus stop chicane, and as the fight for second intensifies, it gives Nicolas Gibson the opportunity he possibly can to try and put a bit of daylight between himself and the rest of the field. Being, as you can see, he's not been overwhelmingly successful in that thus far in the race. Otherwise, Andrew Wright keeps being caught up in traffic. He's just been passed by Stefan Vermeesch in the 211. Look through the pack, the battle's beginning to unfold as trying to gain some ground there. The bright red car, that is Philippe Loup. He looks to the inside of Nicholas Walker. A pair of them behind the car of Frank and Christophe Laroche. So we have a replay at the bus stop chicane. Oh, and it's a spin for David Harvey. 340R breaks traction. Round goes David. He should recover from that though. It's a quick driver as David Harvey will be hoping to gain plenty of spots between now and the checker flag. It's down the Kemmel Straight, and the challenge and the pass for lead, and Gregory Rass in the Evora moves clear of Nicolas Gibson. Well, Gibson has spent the whole race really under pressure from Rass. Now is his opportunity to look to fight back. Well, here is the Laroche battle with Nicholas Walker and Philippe Loup still in pursuit. As Walker looks to the inside into Les Combes. Main overtaking spot here at Spa is down the Kemmel Straight into Les Combes, but no change in that battle. No subsequent change in the fight for the lead either, as Nicolas Gibson slides to about 2 or 3 car lengths adrift. He still has Jack Goff for company. Then we have got Jonathan Walker with Nicolas Ferrer just in behind him. And that's been a good drive thus far from Ferrer and the white and orange Exige. So he looks to try and challenge Sean Walker into Les Fagnes. Walker having none of it, covers the inside line. Ferrer says, fine, I'll try around the outside, hoping that would give him the inside line for the left-hander. Doesn't quite. What a race this is. Wherever you look, there are some fantastic scraps of position as Kai Kederholm does all he can to keep Eric van Tove behind him. It's been a good drive from Eric from the back of the grid. He's gained several spots there in the white Elise. It's the black Elise, number 1, Tomater Haib, who continues to lead the production class. He is tucked in behind Adrian Bender. A pair of them getting involved in a little bit of traffic as they get bottled up behind Phil Capstick. So Capstick leads the trio. And this is when Tomater Haib will have to rely on the slipstream of the cars in front. It certainly paid off in the fight for the lead, because you can see once more Nicolas Gibson has comprehensively closed up onto the tail of Gregory Rass. Jack Goff still very much in the mix. This arguably the race of the season thus far in the Lotus Cup Europe. An absolute thriller unfolding here in Spa as they plummet downhill once more into Eau Rouge. Gregory Rass as quick as he dares. The same for Ibsen and Goff. Then a slight gap back to John Walker, who for the moment has shaken off the attention of Nicolas Ferrer. Meanwhile, a move to the inside of the place gained for Nicholas Walker. He moves clear of the La Roche car. Then we have got Philippe Loup, who is also trying to squeeze through. They're almost 3 wide down the hill into Eau Rouge. Headlights ablaze from the predominantly red car, Philippe Loup. It's not really deterring those in front of him, though, as they pick up the pace and the throttle out of Radion. Meanwhile, you can see the gap for the production class leaders close down somewhat, and more importantly for Andrew Wright, there weren't rather any cars between himself and Tomater Haib. That said, at the same time, Andrew Wright is still busy racing Stefan Vermeesch for track position. Back to the Nicholas Walker fight, still headed by the white car of Nicholas Walker. Then it's La Roche, then it is Loup. Loup again looking for a move into Lefania. Can't quite find his way past. All the while though, Nicholas Walker is not really breaking clear of this scrap, I'd argue. We have seen the disappearance here of Jack Goff. So Goff goes from 3rd place. He is out somewhere in the countryside. It means that is a pass for 3rd place in favour of Nicolas Ferrer. He moves clear of John Walker. More importantly, the front of the field, it now really frees up Nicolas Gibson to spend all his energy on trying to challenge Gregory Rass once more for the lead of the race. La Roche looks to the outside, Nicholas Walker into the bus stop chicane. So they swoop through. They've got Xavier Georges then closing up as well in the 211. De Haib, Black Elise, maintaining that production class advantage. Andrew Wright ominously closing on in as into the pit lane goes Jonathan Walker. So problem there for John Walker. Number 7 car, the door open, and that takes him out of the fight for the podium places. So it looks like a relatively safe 3rd place at the moment for Nicolas Ferrer as Nicolas Gibson looks to the inside Gregory Rass and snatches the lead into La Source. Lovely move that from Ibsen. And we're getting towards the latter stages of this race. Gregory Rass is going to be running out of time here, which to try and overhaul Ibsen. A pair of them downhill into the compression at the bottom of Eau Rouge. Pick up the pace uphill all the while out of Radion. Meanwhile, here is the recovery of David Harvey. Mudgarder flapping on the 340R as he moves ahead of Tomater Haib. Now that Nicolas Gibson's got the advantage of the field, can he comprehensively break away here from Gregory Rass? The gap between the pair of them to about 5 or so car lengths, which by the standards of this race is fairly generous, but it's come down dramatically as they went through Longchamp. I just wonder here if Nicolas Gibson's got a problem, because Gregory Rass surges past to the point of the circuit where you don't normally see it. They get on the brakes into the bus stop chicane. Nicolas Gibson turns through a puff of smoke. Oh, and around he goes. Something's gone pop there for Nicolas Gibson. Such a pity, because that had been a fine performance to that point. Means that Gregory Rass has got what would appear to be a reasonably comfortable run now through to the checkered flag ahead of Nicolas Ferrer. Here's another look at it then, and we surmised by that point that Ibsen was in trouble. There's the white smoke, which suggests that oil is suddenly deposited onto his rear tyres, and that means that the car has no grip, and around he goes. So that has promoted this man, Jeremy Lorenko, up into third place, but he's got a charging Philippe Luke coming onto his tail. It's been a fine drive this from Luke, and he's now within an outside chance of a podium. I think, though, he might just run out of time, because through the bus stop chicane then, for the last time of asking, it is Gregory Rass. A super performance this from Rass. He takes victory in race 2 at Spa. It's going to be a fairly dominant victory as well. In the background you see Nicolas Ferrer coming through for second position as Rass celebrates the win. A fine performance after that thrilling scrap with Ipsum. So look at the results then. Gregory Rass victorious from Nicolas Ferrer. Jeremy Lorenko did hold on for third ahead of Philippe Luke. Nicolas Walker in fifth ahead of the Roches. Then Xavier Georges, Jean-Baptiste Luc. Then showed an excellent ninth, just clear Jean-Pierre Genou-Prachet. Nathalie Genou-Prachet made it a good day for the family. A good 15th for her, just behind Benedict Measure. And just ahead of Tamas Vitsyn, with John Walker recovering to 17th. Andrew Wright did claim production class honours. That chase of Thomas Dave working out in his favour with Dave Carr completing the production class podium. Nicolas Gibson very disappointed to be classified in 26th, with Kees Versluis completing finishes in 34th.
Nicholas, congratulations, first in class.
Thank you. I'm very happy. Again. So another victory for me. Yes, in Spa, a mythic and fantastic circuit. So I'm very happy for the team, because for the second race on the scratch we are first with Gregory and I'm second. So we are very happy for the team and for all mechanics men.
Well, this is a very nice moment for you, isn't it, Philippe? First time on the podium with your son and yourself. Congratulations to both of you.
Yes, it's fantastic for me to be in the podium with my son Jean-Baptiste. It's very nice day for me, and never I forget this day. It's fantastic.
And congratulations for you as well.
Yeah, thank you. It's really a pleasure to share this thing with my father. It's really nice. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations. Jeremy's first in class. That was a good race, wasn't it?
Yes, I'm very happy for for this race today and yesterday. Voilà, it's a very, very good place. I'm happy to win at Spa.
Andrew, congratulations, first in production class. That is boosting your championship hopes quite well, isn't it?
Yes, is it? Yeah, I haven't looked at the numbers, but I guess it can't be doing any harm. Yeah, it was good. To be honest, I don't remember much about the race. It was like frenetic from the start all the way through. I was tracking Thomas and Adrian for a while, and then they seemed to go into the pits. I believe they had a drive-through for track limits, so I inherited the win. So it was very fortunate, but it's great to have the win.
As we begin to move to the business end of the season, the championship couldn't be tighter. Xavier Georges leads the way, just 2 points clear of Jeremy Lorenko, with Andrew Wright and John Walker still very much in the mix. But the door is still wide open for a late season surge from any other driver inside the top 10. It's going to be a thrilling climax to the campaign.
The Lotus Cup UK and the Lotus On Track Elise Trophy unite for one race today, in which 3 championships will be battled out. Now 46 cars take to the grid, 2 of which were meant to be from the Lotus Cup Europe, but unfortunately Gregory Rass couldn't fix his car in time. Now Freddie Hetherington has had the drive of his life as well, qualifying in P3. Our championship leader Adrian Hall qualified in a disappointing P7, and Fabio Randaccio, another driver enjoying a fantastic drive in qualifying, starts the race off in P1. Now, of course, the 60-minute race will be on the notorious F1 circuit, meaning anything could happen.
And what an absolutely enormous field of cars we have got. It is going to be, I'm sure, thoroughly entertaining. So this is how they line up then, with Fabio Randaccio and Rob Fenn showing the front row, Freddie Hetherington and Gregory Rass. Then it's Ken Savage and Marcus Jewell, Adrian Hall and Adam Bailon. First, the production runners is Adam Gore, an excellent 18th place for Adam. Let's hope that he has got a car that stays underneath him all the way through to the flag. It's Martin Stefan Donnelly next up, head of John the Master and Craig Denman. Then Ryan Savage from Steve Guglielmi, Ian Fennick. Still they keep coming, a very healthy entry from the production runners. Of course, this race doubling up as a round of the Lotus On Track Elise Trophy. 49 of them in all, and a very quick car at the back of the field. Steve Train and Tom Chataway's 211. Steve, former Lotus Cup UK champion. Let's see how that is able to side through the field. Meanwhile, though, as we ready ourselves to the rolling start, it's the white car of Fabio Randaccio. It is the black and green machine of Rob Fenn. And it's a pair of them who paced the field out of the bus stop chicane, waiting for the lights to change, which they do now. Planting of the right feet, and away we go, sprinting up to the hairpin at La Source. Randaccio, headlights ablaze, just turn through the head of the field. He does just that in the Lotus Europa. He's the first half of the pack are all cleanly through. Stefan Donnelly and Ryan Savage taking evasive action behind as we go in car with Matthias Raderstock. He's got Ryan Savage right alongside him as Randaccio makes the early running from Rob Fenn. Then it's Marcus Jewell and Ken Savage, the two 211s, and well up the order in the early running. Adam Gore to the floor of the production class as we go in car with Matthias Raderstock out of Radion for the first time. So he goes wheel to wheel, door handle to door handle with Ryan Savage. Down the Camel Straight, Randaccio showing his experience, looking to try and build that buffer early on over the rest of the field. Ken Savage, meanwhile, looks to challenge Marcus Jewell. A pair of them have won so many races in the various Lotus class over the years, they almost need an extension to house all the trophies. Will today be the opportunity to add to that cabinet. They currently, the two preeminent 211s, they fight for third and fourth. It's the bright orange car of Jewell, just ahead of the yellow machine of Savage as they swoop through Pouat. There's a little bit of a gap back to the next group of cars. Randaccio, though, trying to break clear if he possibly can. That's going to be a task for him in the early stages. And then we have got the Nicolas Frere Guillaume Gomez car right in the thick of the action heat. They are just ahead of Simon Deacon. Out of Stavlo and the long run towards Blanchimont, and then the bus stop chicane, a prime overtaking opportunity. And we've just got a glimpse of that Iraqi shot, super scrap for the production class between Adam Gore and Fulvio Mussi. He's running out very, very wide there through the exit of Blanchimont is Rob Fenn. Doesn't really cost him. It shows the sort of pace that is being laid down by Randaccio in these opening exchanges. Knows just how important it is to build that buffer over the rest of the field. Meanwhile, the two Adams, Bailon and Knight, Bailon the green car, Knight the black machine, have got the attentions of David Harvey in the 340R to fend off as they sprint through, completing the first lap of the race. Good fight to build up for really the remaining spaces inside the top 10. Harvey in the open cockpitted 340R looks to challenge the Exige V6 Cup R of Adam Bailon. Swooping downhill and climbing on uphill, it's Freddie Hetherington for that queue, the bright orange car, as they do battle over 5th position. Chris Randall continues out front. Rob Fenn, though, would appear to be a little bit closer this time around. It's slightly hard to tell, though, because the camera angle foreshortens the Camel Straight somewhat, because it's well over a kilometre long. On this run into Les Combes, it's Freddie Hetherington, head of the next queue, Adam Bailon and Adam Knight. The pair of them seem to have been locked in battle, frankly, all season. They started off at Snetterton April with a fantastic fight for Lotus Cup UK honours. Meanwhile, there is Tom Chataway looking to pick his way up through the order from the tail of the field as the Lotus on Track Elise trophy runners swoop through. Neil Stottert, as ever, to be found in the thick of the action. Freddie Hetherington is trying to do here is close that gap towards the leading quartet. David Harvey, meanwhile, really applying the pressure to Adam Knight, and this is a circuit that should suit David Harvey. He's raced with some success in the Lotus Cup Europe over the past several seasons. He knows these European circuits a little bit better than some of the drivers who have spent the bulk of their careers predominantly racing in the UK. So the fight for third, still Savage pursues Marcus Jewell. Then they've got Freddie Hetherington, who's trying to close in. Then it's the Frere and Gomez car that's next along, staying with Freddie Hetherington. Simon Deacon doing much the same. And the thing with that black 211 and Simon Deacon is it can never be discounted. Simon always comes on very strongly in the late stages of the race. He's asking right questions. Car in front of him, particularly he's got a reasonable buffer over Adam Bailon there. We've got the scrap still between Adam Knight and David Harvey. Harvey maintaining the pressure here on Adam Knight. Both of them coming back towards Adam Bailon, which would suggest Bailon made a mistake coming out of the bus stop chicane. As now Deacon looks to make the move to the inside into La Source. Can't quite find the gap, and that's smart driving from Simon Deacon. He didn't try and force the manoeuvre, because we have seen time and time again the very highest echelons of the sport downwards, an optimistic lunge into La Source generally only ends happily for the spare parts manufacturer. So instead, Simon Deacon picks up the pace through Eau Rouge out of Radion, while Stefan Donnelly, right in the thick of the action, he's got Ryan Savage and Matthias Raderstock for company. It's the red and white car of Raderstock to the outside. He gets elbowed out by Ryan Savage. And Savage and Donnelly both in their first full season of car racing. Both of them quitting themselves very, very nicely. Simon Deacon maintaining the pressure. Really, wherever you look, there are some super fights in prospect to Simon Oakley. Just doing what he needs to do to maintain the place. This is a challenge for the lead of the production class. Adam Gore, the blue machine, goes side by side with Fulvio Mussi in the white car. They're also battling for Lotus on Track Elite's trophy honours, as they have done so often thus far in 2014. And despite the length of this Spa Francorchamps circuit, the gap's really not opening up as much as may have been expected, and that certainly goes to lead the race, because Rob Fenn is in pursuit of Fabio Randaccio, and Randaccio in the Lotus Europa is not really breaking clear of those around him. It's the Marcus Miller for the Britain car. It's busy defending from Matt Bartlett. Fabio Randaccio may very shortly have to start defending from Rob Fenn, but again, Fenn runs out a little bit wide, and I just wonder whether Rob has possibly got an emerging understeer issue there in his Exige, because that's not the first time that we've seen him taking to the AstroTurf. By comparison, the Lotus Europa of Fabio Randaccio, as you'd expect, looking very smooth, very clean and consistent. Randaccio powers downhill past the old pits complex. It's the start and finish straight that they do use still for some support races here at Spa. Into Eau Rouge. This entertaining three-way battle entered by the Miller and Britain car. Then it is Matt Bartlett next along in number 13 machine. You can see that trio, though, are being pursued with some rapidity by the production class leaders in the form of Adam Gore and Fulvio Mussi, as Tamas Vidzin also joins in, one of the drivers from the thriving Lotus Cup Eastern Europe Championship, in particular Lotus Racing, hugely popular in Hungary, as Breton car just breaking clear of Bartlett. Then we've got Vizin, made the long trip across Europe to have the opportunity to race at Spa this weekend. Meanwhile, the production cars all swarming through. There's Craig Denman there in the 65 car, a little bit lower down the order than perhaps we would normally expect to see him. He's a driver with whom we'd often associate a challenge for the podium places. That's not the case at the moment. Andy Dolan then head of the side-by-side battle going on just behind. Which arrives with Simon Oakley trying to swoop around the outside into La Source. As Nigel Ayres, he has just been able to overhaul. So Fabio Randaccio leads the way here at Spa. He has done ever since the lights flashed to green. He tries to build daylight over the rest of the field. It's Fabio Randaccio who leads the way from Rob Fenn. Then we've got this absolutely fantastic fight for third place between the bright orange to 11 Marcus Jewell and a similar car, but in bright yellow, of Ken Savage. And Savage looks to apply the pressure to Jewell. Jewell, though, able to absorb everything that Ken can throw at him at the moment. As the pair of them swoop through, they come. We'll take a look. to Vanya. Oh, and smoke, and it's the Donnelly car that is in trouble. And Martin Donnelly pulls the car off the road. And I fear that that is going no further. Now that's very, very strange, because it would appear as if something just detonated there, brought the car to an immediate halt. Meanwhile, the remainder of the production class continue to fight a pace. There is definitely some sort of issue there for Craig Denman. He hugs the inside of the road as they head around La Source. The Andrew Wright Nigel Greensall car that's also in the thick of the action. And don't forget, this is a mandatory pit stop race. We're coming up to the pit window, opening in fairly short order as Richard Hill-Evans tries to make a do-or-die move into Eau Rouge. Oh, and he's going to break traction. Around he goes, coming out into Radion, and Hill-Evans just keeps it out of the wall. My goodness me, he did very, very well to recover that. It was an extraordinarily brave manoeuvre that he was trying to make, and it very nearly came off. The pits are open, and Tom Chataway is one of the first drivers in to pass over to Steve Train. Also in for a switch is Andrew Wright and Nigel Greensall. Rob Fenn to a halt, as is Fulvio Mussi. Bartlett, one of many others, as the pit lane becomes a buzz. As Rob Fenn rejoins, Clafrere and Guillaume Gomez switch around. Nick Harvey and Brian Watts have done likewise. This is the point of the race. All the drivers will be hoping the safety car does not appear. The teams just want to get their pit stop done with the minimum of fuss. As in comes Craig Denman. That is to hand over to John Lamaster. Slightly muted performance this from Denman. Meanwhile, Ken Savage staying out a little bit later than others. He's trying to make his running whilst the track's a little bit quieter. His arch rival Marcus Jewell is in and rehydrating. As the car also has extra fluids replenished. Ferrer and Gomez completed their pit stop as the car rejoins the race. Marcus Jewell clambers back into the cockpit of his 211. Deacon, Adam Baylon continue, but Baylon's got a problem. The car starts smoking and he immediately pulls to the right hand side off the road. Now to the race. A great disappointment there for Baylon as Ken Savage comes to a halt, one of the last drivers to make his pit stop. Now is that going to work out in his favour? Richard Hill-Evans is also in, I'm sure, with plenty to report back to his team. So Marcus Jewell on his way. Essentially he is racing the car on Ken Savage in the pits that he can't see. It's always the beauty of the Lotus Cup UK is that the race really does get turned on its head with these mid-race pit stops as Savage propels himself out of the pits. We'll have to see where things have shaken out in terms of the overall order. John Lamaster is also en route and we'll head down to the pits to hear from some of the drivers.
Well, it was okay until we got hit. We got hit on the first lap at the end of the Kemmel Straight and it bent the rear suspension. So the car was good on right-handers, but really dangerous on left-handers.
Not so strong on the left.
Yeah, not so good on the left. But we managed to make some, I think that knocked us back to 9th or 10th. So we managed to make some time back. But really good racing after that. It's just a shame it had to happen that way. I would have rather been further up.
Now talk us through, obviously, the circuit, a fantastic circuit. You've got some really good open spaces. What was it like driving?
It is, without doubt, the best circuit in the world. They don't get better than this.
Now, Dave, you've just come in, handed over. How was it out there?
It was good. We made up a few places. We didn't qualify very well, but the car felt really good, and so hopefully Brian's okay.
Hopefully Brian is okay. Now, you made up a few places, though, didn't you? You set him off to a good start anyway.
We did, yep. So we'll see how he goes.
Andy, now I know you've just handed over to Chris. How was the start of the race? Qualifying in 36, you're sort of at the back of the grid. What's it like being behind so many cars?
Well, I've been there before, so it was just starting again. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was just fantastic, absolute fantastic.
Now you've got big open spaces out there to pick up speed. It's quite nice driving, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you've got to carry the speed through every corner, and it's something probably I wasn't doing too well, but hopefully, you know, Chris is going to make that up.
Now with Stefan, Dad's obviously been out first, and Stefan, tell us what's happened.
Well, what's come over the radio is that there's a piece of debris in the circuit, and we're not sure if he's hit the debris or he's gone around to avoid it, but he's gone off. And it looks like he's hit the barriers and there's been a flash fire in the car, but thankfully he's all right, which is the most important thing. Cars can be mended, but we unfortunately can't.
Well, with the pit stops complete, it's Ken Savage who has emerged to lead the way. He has got Marcus Jewell chasing him down. Meanwhile, this is the fight for third between Freddie Hetherington and Simon Deacon. Hetherington makes the move into that source. Deacon retaliates immediately. They have got Rob Fenn as well just in behind them as they sprint downhill into Eau Rouge. So still plenty to race for as we head into the latter stages here of what's been a fairly epic Lotus Cup UK Lotus on Track Elise Trophy race around the home of the Belgian Grand Prix. So there is the race leader Savage. Jewell through that angle appears a little bit closer than he actually is, but nonetheless Ken can't afford to make a mistake. He's also got a little bit of debris there. You can see in the radiator duct. It's a pretty balmy day here at Spa as well, so he will be hoping against all hope that the car keeps to its optimal temperature. Meanwhile, Brian Watts negotiates the 340R through the bus stop chicane as Freddie Hetherington moves ahead of Simon Deacon and reclaims third place. So Hetherington up to third, Deacon slips to fourth and off the rostrum as Savage carves his way through the traffic. The production class, by the way, is being led by Adam Gore from Fulvio Mussi. Savage still pushing very hard through Le Fagnes, as you can see. The rear of the car just twitching, threatening to break traction. Freddie Hetherington having to drive the wheels off his car to maintain that very slender margin he has got over Simon Deacon. And Rob Fenn is also still emphatically in the mix as well. Any one of those three drivers that comes through to snatch the final spot on the rostrum. While look at Adam Knight trying to make ground, looking every which way to overhaul the Frere and Gomez car. No avail that time around into Les Combes. Ken Savage accelerating out of Stavelot. Savage has driven very well to manage that pressure from Marcus Jewell. Still picks his way past some of the production Elises as he heads out of Blanchimont. You can see that Marcus Jewell has disappeared from the rear of the shot. That is very good news for Ken Savage as Freddie Hetherington and Simon Deacon continue their tussle, but Deacon really isn't quite close enough to Hetherington. We're rapidly running out of time here at Spa. So there is Adam Gore leading the way from Fulvio Mussi in the production class. As they cross the line to go into their last lap of the race, Ken Savage comes through and takes the checkered flag. There's Marcus Jewell in second place. What about third? Looks as if Freddie Hetherington has got just enough of an advantage here over Simon Deacon as they come out to the bus stop chicane for the final time. Indeed, that's exactly how it pans out, with third place going the way of Hetherington and fourth Deacon. So let's have a look then at the final results. Victory for Ken Savage, almost 8.5 seconds clear of Marcus Jewell, with third place to Freddie Hetherington, fourth Simon Deacon, fifth for Rob Fenn. Adam Gore, the first of the production runners from Fulvio Mussi, with Stuart Radcliffe and Anthony Dunn completing the production podium, and that was from the very back of the grid from them. Plenty of enjoyable battles throughout the field. Simon Oakley was able to vanquish Nigel Ayres en route to 25th place. Field completed by Ryan Savage just behind Janos Santa. All in all, an absolutely excellent race.
Ken, congratulations, a fantastic drive, finishing first overall. That must be nice.
It's fantastic. This is the first time I've won a cup race, so really, really pleased with that. And of course, at Spa, best circuit in the world, doesn't get much better.
Certainly is. I can tell by the smile on your face you enjoyed it. Now, you qualified a little bit further down, so starting on the grid, and you worked your way through the crowd as well. It must have been quite a nice drive for yourself.
It was. I got a good start, and then for the first half of the race I was sat behind Marcus, who was in a 211, and there was nothing in it between the two cars. Marcus had a slightly longer pit stop, so I managed to jump Marcus and maintain the gap. So it's, you know, that was fantastic.
Freddie, congratulations, first in class and a great race overall.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was good. Lost a bit of time at the start and in the pit stops, but overall win just eluded me, but pretty happy with third overall and first in class.
First in class indeed, and driving without brother this weekend as well. Was it quite nice to be able to do the 60 minutes all on your own?
Yeah, it was. I think he said that it's not much track time if you split it between us, such a long lap. So he bowed out this weekend and let me have it all, which was nice.
Rob, congratulations. First in class and 5th overall. A nice race.
Thanks very much. Yeah, I mean, it was a bit disappointing in the end. We were battling for the lead, and then I saw Randy in the Europa pulled over, so I thought it was going to be an easy finish in the end, but unfortunately we had a electronic gremlin, so it was sort of close to the finish really, and luckily we held on to first in class at least.
Adam, congratulations. This is becoming a regular thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah, we're really pleased. Last year the car didn't finish, it stopped on the last lap, which was just one of those freak things, so to come back and win it this year, it's just what I've been wanting basically since the last lap of last year, so it's ace, yeah. So thanks to Rob Boston Racing and find me a gift again.
Oh, fantastic, and obviously a fantastic circuit. I can tell by the grin on your face that you enjoyed the drive.
Yeah, it's one of the best circuits in the world. It is really amazing. The fast sections are so exciting and it's such hard work. I was hot as anything, but yeah, and Fulvio did a good race. You know, me and him were at the start, we were swapping, and that was good fun, and it was just a case of trying to get away from him then.
So how does that affect the championship standings? When the Lotus Cup UK Supersport standings, it is very, very close. Marcus Jewell just 2 points clear of Simon Deacon, who in turn holds just a slender single-point advantage over Adam Knight, with Ian Fennick, Steve Guglielmi and Adrian Hall all snapping at their heels. Equally tight in the production standings in Lotus Cup UK, with Anthony Dunn, Craig Denman, John Lemaster, Stuart Radcliffe all in the mix, as is Richard Hill-Evans. When the Lotus on Track Elise Trophy, it's a little bit cleaner cut. Adam Gore, a comfortable buffer over Fulvio Mussi, but Jason Baker's third place is under real threat from Craig Denman and Jack Goff.
Well, it's been another fantastic weekend of racing here at Spa. The Lotus Cup UK and the Lotus On Track Elise Trophy Championship points may have shifted around by the end of the weekend, and in the Lotus Cup Europe, Jack Goff certainly has made his impression. But until next time, it's goodbye from me and goodbye from us here at Spa.